I'm just a one-man knife shop. I make mostly kitchen knives, small everyday carry knives, those types of things. Every once in a while I'll forge a hammer or a hatchet and tools and stuff like that, but mostly just a small one-man custom order knife shop. In college I worked in a lot of kitchens as a line cook, and a lot of the knives that I was using in the kitchens, they were always dull. And I've also always kind of collected knives, and I thought it would be cool to make one. And it just kind of snowballed. I made one and people were like giving me money, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but cool. I mostly use carbon steels. One, they're easier to forge. They also take a nice fine edge, which I personally, I don't care about rust, that kind of stuff, that's easy to manage, but it'll take a nice fine edge. It's also easier for chefs to sharpen a lot of the time. And then I like wood. As a musician, I've always kind of gravitated towards handmade bass guitars that were made out of exotic wood materials. I always found them really pretty, and I figured I would incorporate that into the handles of the knives, and people seem to like it, so. I'll start with like a raw chunk of steel like this, something along those lines, and I'll forge it to shape with a hammer or my press, and after that, I do a little bit of grinding to make sure the profile is how I like it, and then I heat treat it, which is hardening the knife and making it usable. And then after that, it's a lot of grinding, attaching a handle and sculpting a piece of wood into a nice, comfortable handle for you to hold. And then finally I sharpen it, and it's usually pretty much ready to go after that. The most popular knife I make is like a chef knife, and I've got varieties of that. So like I'll do one that's called like a hunter chef knife. I'm kind of known for like a forged finish, and the hunter chef has kind of like more of like a hunter knife profile to it. I make santokus quite a bit, which are like a Japanese style chef knife. And then once again, I make little integral bolster, which is where the handle is part of the blade that's all forged from the same piece of steel. Carry knives quite a bit. A lot of customers compliment me on how well the knife cuts, for one. I mean, that's always important. That first time they cut a tomato or something like that and it doesn't like smash it is a great feeling. And a lot of people really love the way the handles feel. I kind of make my handles to be very ergonomic and to put you into a pinch grip, which is what a lot of chefs like to use. They actually like hold up onto the spine of the knife, and my knives are designed to do that very comfortably. If you take care of them, they will outlast you and maybe your kids and hopefully their kids. But it's all a matter of taking care of them. I've had some customers send them to me, oh, I left this in the sink overnight and now it needs some tuning up, and I can fix that. I think they have more meaning to them more than anything. I can sharpen a knife that you buy at Target just fine. It's made out of, usually they're made out of stainless steel, or if you get one that's made out of carbon steel, you can do that too. But it's the handmade touch, it's the attention to detail. Sometimes the customers like to pick out the handle materials, sometimes they like to let me pick out the handle materials. I think it's just the overall aesthetic and feel of it. Like I said, I can make any knife cut well. These cut, I think, exceptionally well, but it's just years of trial and error and seeing what works and what doesn't. It's the freedom that it allows me. I'm a dad, I got 2 little boys, and so I'm able to make my own schedule. I work from home. I can go and take my son to cross-country practice. If I need to pick them up because they need to go to the doctor or something, I can do that. So it's the freedom that it allows me, but it also, it's creative. I get to work with my hands and make things that hopefully people will enjoy for a lifetime and pass down to their kids.